Welcome to our day in my life as a baker, chocolatier edition. If chocolate is your thing or your vibe and you love cakes, then keep watching because there is so much to see and learn from this little vlog. Enjoy! So as per usual, I like to put on my uniform because it's a must, and today we had a couple of cake orders, so I go ahead and divide the cakes into three before I could fill them, and also I make sure I apply sugar syrup that helps moist the cakes and keep them soft. Then I go ahead and fill the cakes with chocolate ganache. Here specifically I'm using dark chocolate ganache, but we do use caramel ganache and we also have like white chocolate ganache. Anyways, I go ahead and mask the cake. It doesn't need to be perfect as we're gonna glaze it later on. And I put the cakes in the fridge and clean up a little bit because the dishes were getting out of hand, so I had to make sure I clean up and do the dishes as well. And after that I took out the cakes, and also beforehand I make sure my glaze is ready and at the right temperature before I pour it on the cold cakes. Then I just go ahead and do that and check them off, scrape the tops so it's like nice and smooth, and then put them onto the cake board. After applying the pouring grains on the bottom, it just gives it a nice look. Then I go ahead and finish them off with some decorations, and yeah. Once these cakes are done, I had filmed the other bunch of camera because these cakes do take time. As you will see, they have a caramel, but I go ahead and finish up the cakes that need to be covered in chocolate, where I just use our chocolate machine and pour some chocolate on top and just scrape that smoothly onto the cake so it's nice and a smooth layer. This specific cake was our orange flavored cake, and our orange cakes have to have like a shaving on them, which you guys are gonna see pretty soon. But you put them back on the cake board and then just shave some chocolate, and it just makes it look really nice because all the cakes, we don't want them to look alike, but also while it's still wet or not set, you want to go ahead and divide the cake into the pieces. And then after that's done, I go ahead and temper some white chocolate as we use it for the decorations on top of the cake, which you guys are gonna see pretty soon. But this is me taking out some orange peel because it's an orange cake, of course, so orange peel makes it look like an orange cake for customers. And I cut those up and took some tempered white chocolate, and I just put small dots as you will see, and then on top of the dots I put the orange peel, and the cakes are basically done. I did two cakes. I did a large one and I also did a small one, and yeah, that's the cakes. Here I was just posing for a thumbnail, but then I go ahead and take out the white chocolate machine where I have to temper some white chocolate as we were gonna do some truffles. I was doing two different truffles, but anyways, you gotta make sure you temper the chocolate. It's got to be somewhere between 29 and 30. It cannot be over, and for white chocolate it can go up to 28, but that's the absolute minimum. Anyways, I go ahead and unwrap the truffles that were made like a day before and put those in a bowl because it's easier to work with. And I also prepared trays that the truffles are gonna be on. Now these truffles are pretty easy. You just need two trays, a tray with the cooling rack and also a tray to put them on. So of course I put on gloves because it gets messy. As you will see, I'm already messy, but that's chocolate for you. Then you go ahead and roll out the chocolate, let them set, and while they are semi-set, you roll them again and put them on the other tray. And then for these other ones, I did have one of my colleagues. I always have a hard time saying colleagues. Anyways, you all get what I mean. She helped me because this one needed to be rolled in white chocolate and then into like pink sugar, and that was basically it for the white chocolate truffles. As you will see, they look so pretty. Anyways, I then go ahead and set the machine up for the dark chocolate truffles, because these ones actually are like really no round, as you will see. They stand because they have like a foot. I don't know if you will see, but yeah, it's like straight on the bottom. And we put them onto the machine because then it's easier and less messy. I think I've showed you guys this method before in my other videos, so go check it out. But I prepared this for my colleagues or my chefs, and then I went ahead and ate lunch. And for lunch I was eating some pasta and sausage, which was really good. I also make sure I hydrate, because when you work in a bakery you know how hot it gets. Anyways, I ate some dessert too. The dessert was really good. It's one of our logs that we have in the bakery. Anyways, I went back to work, and as you will see, the truffles were already covered in chocolate by the other chefs, and then I tempered some milk chocolate, put that into a piping bag, and just covered up these truffles. I don't remember what truffles they were, but definitely we use milk chocolate for some truffles, and then we use some dark strips for chocolate just to tell them apart. And yeah, we did have a lot of truffles, so this definitely takes its time. It looks like it's very like no time consuming, but it is. Anyways, I then went ahead, I think I remember this one is a peach, so I go ahead and do those designs, which were cool to make. I honestly love decorating truffles, but sometimes it just doesn't turn out the same, which is okay. Anyways, that was it, how it looked. And then I went ahead and started making some roses in chocolate that we needed for the shop. And basically you just pipe chocolate into the rose chocolate mold, and also these were sprayed by my two other chefs before, so they were like setting. And what I mean by spray, they were sprayed in color, and it's cocoa butter color. So yeah, I just went ahead and finished them off, and I always top them off so we don't have any air bubbles. And then in the roses I do put the lollipop sticks, and then I did the sunflower roses as well, or flowers, and it's exactly the same method. Add your chocolate, tap it up so no air bubbles, and put that in the fridge for 30 seconds to a minute. And yeah, once I was done, I go ahead and start taking off the chocolate machine. Now today I was specifically taking off the dark chocolate machine, and then I added some chocolate. I feel so bad because the angle is really bad, you all couldn't really tell, but I did add some chocolate for the next day to melt. And then I go ahead and scrape the aisles and tables, and also use a warm cloth to wipe down the machine. And then I'd like to go ahead and use some soapy water and a dishwasher sponge and just scrub all the aisles and sinks and everything, and then go in with a wet cloth, and then on top of that, when it's done, go in with a dry cloth. So basically that's the cleaning routine. When the marble counter is done, I then put on the clean cloth for my colleagues to put on the clean dishes. And before I ended, I had to go wrap up this cookie dough that my boss or chef did, because we always like to leave the cookies to set up a little bit before we can wrap them up. And we do wrap them up again the next day in case any need to go in the freezer, and we do bake off some the next day as well in case we're missing some. Anyways, before I ended, I also unmolded all the roses and the sunflowers as well, because it's just better to unmold everything before you leave, obviously if you have some time, but otherwise this step we usually do the next day. And basically that was about that or it that I did today. So I hope you all enjoyed, and look at those sunflowers. But yeah, see you all.